Okay, so in this lecture, uh, we will do the Euler's mixed derivative theorem. And before this topic, what we have done till now is written here. A limit and continuity of two variable function. This is your unit 3, and these are the topics that we have done till now. Limit and continuity of two variable functions. Two-part test for checking the non-existence of limit of function fxy. Then we did the partial derivatives of fxy and their geometrical representation. Also we did partial derivatives of implicit function, and we did some examples related to these. And final your topic related to this is Euler's mixed derivative theorem that we are going to do today, and also we will be starting your chain rule in today's lecture. So let us see what your Euler's mixed derivative theorem is. So according to Euler's mixed derivative theorem, Euler's mixed derivative theorem, it says that if fxy and its partial derivative, if fxy and its partial derivatives like fx, fy, fxy, fyx are defined throughout an open region, containing AB, and and are all continuous at AB then what does Euler's theorem say? That if you have function fxy and its partial derivatives, these are defined and also continuous. That is the main thing, they should be defined and continuous. Then your partial derivative of fxy AB is equal to fyx AB. This is. And after this one, you have your del square f, you have del y del x is equal to point AB is equal to your del square f del x del y AB. So these are the Euler's mixed derivative theorem, according to which you can differentiate a function in any of the order. So that is what, if you have something like del square y del f del x, then say at point AB, then either you differentiate first with respect to x, or you can differentiate it first with respect to y. You can follow any of the order, provided the partial derivatives must be defined and continuous. So in this theorem, what is the use of this theorem? Let us consider an example, and let us see how it will help you in partial differentiation. So say you have a function fxy is equal to xy plus ey upon y square plus 1. Now, and he is asking you to find del square f del x del y. So you can see here this del square f del x del y is basically this thing, this one. Now derivative with respect to y is your x from the first term here, and from the second term it is your y square plus 1 the whole square. We have y square plus 1 ey plus your ey as such 2 1. Yes, this is. And finally, when you differentiate with respect to x, this whole term is of y, and you get here equal to 1. So you can see here that whole term is of y here, and it is of x, so differentiation you get equal to 1. Now what is the use of your this Euler's mixed derivative theorem? The use is that now since you have been asked to find the partial derivative, and you did it in the next, you can see here we did the partial derivative as usual. Now using the Euler's theorem, we can write this your partial derivative is equal to this one. That is, we can differentiate first with respect to x and then with respect to y. Why? Because the partial derivatives here are continuous and also defined for all x, at least for this function fxy. For this function fxy, the partial derivatives are continuous and defined for all x and y. So these derivatives, now we can find this derivative by changing the order, that is first differentiating with respect to x and then with respect to y. So what now you can see, if we change the order, then you get here with respect to x it is y plus 0 and then it is equal to 1. See the difference in the calculation if you just change the order of differentiation, that you differentiate first with respect to x and then with respect to y, and that is what Euler's mixed derivative theorem is. It can be used to ease your calculation in case your partial derivatives are continuous and defined at that given particular point. So this is the mixed derivative Euler theorem and it is used. Next we come to your chain rule. Before that, I am just here discussing some few things about the differentiability of function fxy. So before going to chain rule, here are some your things related to differentiability, because we did your limits and continuity for function of two variables. Now we are here just in brief looking about some main points of differentiability of fxy. So first point, if the partial derivative fx and fy of function fxy, the partial derivatives, they are continuous throughout open region R, then f is differentiable at every point of R. So here first point, that if the partial derivative fx and fy functions partial derivative with respect to x and y of function fxy, if they are continuous, this is very important, if they are continuous throughout an open region, then we say that f is differentiable. At every point of region R. So here is a theorem about differentiability which says if a function fxy is differentiable at x0 y0, then function is given to be differentiable, then you know very well then fxy is also going to be continuous at x0 y0. So function fxy is differentiable at point x0 y0. Okay, so function is differentiable at point x0 y0 means its partial derivatives are continuous at that point. Then function itself will also be continuous. So in this case, what is the main new point here is that your yes, it is not the important point that is to be noted. It is still possible for fxy to be discontinuous at point x0 y0, where its partial derivative where its partial derivative exists. So here he says that the function can be discontinuous, a function of two variables. In single variable, we always know that if the function is differentiable, it is going to be continuous. But in case of two variable function, it can be possible that function is discontinuous at a given point, and there its partial derivative exists. So it means that existence of partial derivatives at a given point or existence alone, let me write it here, alone, existence alone of partial derivative at a given point is not enough for continuity of fxy. They mean partial derivative should be continuous also. This is a very important thing, that whenever we are saying that function is differentiable, two variable function, it means its partial derivatives are continuous, not only defined but are also continuous. So in case you are saying that the partial derivative exists only, and on that base you say that function is going to be continuous, it is not always true. We have some examples where the partial derivative exists at given point, but still your function is discontinuous. The reason being, the partial derivatives may be possible that partial derivative exists, but they should also be continuous at that point for the function to be continuous. Otherwise, there can be a possibility, there can be chance that a function is discontinuous and its partial derivative still exists at the given point. So this is all about your some points regarding the differentiability of two variable function. So whenever we are in two variables saying differentiability, it means partial derivatives not only exist but are also continuous. Otherwise, the statement that a function is differentiable and continuous will not hold true. If we just say that it is differentiable, means partial derivative exists. So it should exist, but also they should be continuous. Okay. Next we come to the very important topic of your chain rule. So chain rule is basically used when we have a function which depends upon one or more variables, and those variables again depend upon another variable. How it is so? So case 1, chain rule for function of two variables. So let us start with a simple one, that a function of two variables, that is, say if w is equal to fxy is the first case of chain rule we are considering, w equals to fxy is a differentiable function of x and y, and xy, okay, w is a function of x and y, and xy are again differentiable function of variable t. That is, it is something like x is a function of t and y is also a function of t. It is something like this one. Then w is also differentiable function of t. That is, w is a function of x and y are again the function of variable t. Then w is in turn also differential function of variable t. And then we can write dw by dt, since w is also function of t, del w by del x dx by dt plus del w by del y dy by dt. So this is the chain rule for finding the derivative of w with respect to t, where w depends upon x and y, and y in turn depend upon t. So how this formula comes, that is, we write it dwy dt as this one. You can see in this formula that in some terms it is partial derivative, and in some terms it is your like dy dt, it is ordinary derivative. So how this comes, so we just how to remember these formulas and how these terms come. For that, let me just first write the variables. First is your w. W is your dependent variable. It is your dependent variable that is given. It is a dependent variable that depends upon x and y. Depends upon x and y, and x and y in turn depends upon variable t. So x and y, we call these as intermediate variables. We call these as intermediate variables. And finally t, we call this as independent variable. We call it as your independent variable. So now w, that is dependent, xy intermediate, dk, and then t, that is your independent variable. So to remember this formula, how it comes, we use the tree diagram. And this is all the thing that should be kept in mind: w dependent, xy intermediate, t independent. So using tree diagram, w depends upon x and y in turns depend upon t. That is how we draw the tree diagram. W depends upon x and y in turns depend upon t. So I am writing this as my path 1. Okay, this is path 1, say P1. This is path 2 of tree, path 2. Okay. So now what we do, we differentiate w with respect to x. W with respect to top to bottom. Differentiate top one with respect to lower one. So since w depends upon x and y, so when we will take the differentiation of w with respect to x or y, it will be partial derivative. Okay. So differentiation of w with respect to x gives you del w by del x. Similarly, differentiation of x with respect to t, differentiation of upper variable with respect to lower variable, that is dx by dt. Why it is ordinary? Because now x and y depends upon single variable t. So we should have ordinary derivative here. So this is your path 1. Here you get the derivative del w by del x dx by dt. So when we write the derivative of dw by dt, what you do, you find the derivatives like this one, like this from path 1, and you multiply both. Del w by del x dot dx by dt. This is your first term. And how you can see your first term here, it comes from path 1. It comes from your path 1. You multiply both the branches of the path 1. Now you consider second path. And you can see here del w by del y, branch 1 of path 2, and this is branch 2 dw by dt of path 2. So multiply this and add to this term. Multiply this del w by del y and dy by dt. So this is the required form of your tree diagram. So in second case here, what you do, you did this term from here, del w by del y, and this term from differentiating by this respect to t, upper variable with respect to lower variable. You differentiate it like this one, and then you multiply the arms or branches of the term of your tree of this path 2. You got this one. You add both, you get the required formula for the derivative of w with respect to t, in case w depends upon two variables. Now similarly, if this is clear to you, now you can easily find the chain rule. For function of three variables. Now if this formula is clear, that how we can use the tree diagram to find the chain rule, then you can easily find the chain rule for function of three variables. That is, if I have, say, w is equals to f x y z is differentiable function of x, y, z, where x, y, z are again differentiable function of variable t, then w is also differentiable function of variable t, so that you have your, now what is the situation in this case when w is a function of three variables? You have w here, you have x, y, z, w depends upon x, y, z, and they in turn depend upon t. So in the previous and this formula, only difference is here, that is your, you have three intermediate variables. Dependent variable is same as the previous case was, and independent variables are also here is 1. Okay, only difference lies here, that you have now three intermediate variables. So here it is, let me write w, x, y, z, and this is t. Okay, so I am just writing here dw by dt. So dw by dt, del w by del x, path 1 branch 1, dx by dt, path 1 branch 2. So you multiply this del w by del x dot dx by dt, it comes from path 1. Then here you have del w by del y, and here you have dy by dt, path 2 branch 1 branch 2, multiply this del w by del y dy by dt, plus branch 3, sorry, path 3 branch 1 and then branch 2. So this gives you multiply these and then you add, you get dz by dt. So this is the required formula. This is the required formula in case you have functions of three variables, function that depends upon three variables, and those variables in turn depend upon single variable t. So now I hope you have the formulas clear, and now I come to the example 1 for these your questions. Example 1, the question related to your chain rule. If w is equal to 2y ex minus ln z, where x is equal to ln t square plus 1, y is equal to tan inverse t, z equals to e raised to power t, use chain rule to find dw by dt, hence find value at t equals to 1. So this is the formula of w, and now you have to differentiate w with respect to t, that is you have to find dw by dt using chain rule. So you can see the situation here, w is given to be dependent variable, it depends upon, from the formula here you can see it depends upon x, y and z, three variables it depends, and those x, y, z in turn depend upon variable t. So this is the situation that we discussed in the last formula. So this is your dependent variable, these are your intermediate variables, these are your independent variables, and according to your chain rule we did right now dw by dt will be equals to del, let me write it here, dx by dt, we did it in the last formula, del w by del y dy dt, del w by del z dz by dt. So this is formula 1 that will give you the value of dw by dt. Now here what you have to find? You have to find derivative of w with respect to x, derivative of w with respect to y, derivative of w with respect to z. So these three things you have to find from here, from w. So let us find these first. First, the derivative of w with respect to x. So del x, w is 2y ex minus ln z. This is your w. So with respect to x, it is again 2y ex. Say this is your, let me write this equation number 2. Now since you can see here he is asking you dw by dt. That is the answer that should be coming in the last. It should be in terms of variable t. So it is better. So it is better when we are finding this. When we are finding this, we just convert xyz into t. And you have been given here x is equals to ln t square plus 1. It is given. Y is equals to tan inverse t, and z is given to be e raised to power t. This has been given. So let me just substitute it here, the values of x, y, z, and ex is basically t square plus 1. So this is your del w by del x, say 2. Now again del w by del y, here it is w. Let me write w here so that you can see what w is and how it is getting differentiated. So with respect to y, you can see it is 2ex, simply 2ex. And in terms of your t, it is 2 t square plus 1. So this is 3. Right. Finally, del w by del z. Del w by del z is minus 1 by z. So in terms of your t, it is minus e raised to power minus t. Done. So now you got your values of del w x, del w y, del w del z. Again, what is left that we have to find now, it is derivative of x with respect to t, ordinary derivative because x, y, z depends upon single variable t. Derivative of y with respect to t, derivative of z with respect to t. So here x, y, z are here. So let me find dx by dt. Dx by dt is your t square plus 1, 2t, so this is 5. dy by dt is your 1 upon 1 plus t square, this is 6. And finally dz by dt is equal to e raised to power t, this is 7. Done. So now all the required terms that were needed for finding dw by dt has been found by us here. So now put equation or values from 2 to 7 in 1. So put 2 to 7, the values from 2 to 7 back in this equation number, 1. Okay. So what you will get? You will get here dw by dt, it is equal to your 2 tan inverse t square plus 1 upon t square plus 1 2t. Here the value from here del w by del x, here it is, and dx by dt it is here. So it is your this one plus 2 times t square plus 1 upon t square plus 1 and plus minus of e minus t e raised to power t. So this gives you 4t tan inverse t plus 2 minus 1. So this gives you 4t tan inverse t plus 1. So dw by dt is this. So this is your equation number your 8. So now you have got dw by dt in terms of variable t, and now easily you can find its value. Its value, it has been given to find its value at t equals to 1. So t equals to 1, it is your this one, and this is your tan inverse tan pi by 4 plus 1, and this is pi plus 1. So you can do it like this. So you can see here that how we can use the chain rule, to find the derivative of the function. Now definitely there might be question in your mind that in these type of question, what we could have done, we have just taken, but just for substitution, let me write it here again. This was given, w is equals to 2 by px. Let me write it here so that to clarify the things much easy, in an easy way, sorry. So here it is given, and you have to find out dw by dt. So one thing must be coming in your mind, that what we can do, we can put x, y and z back in w, and then differentiate w with respect to t. That is, put x, y and z in w, and then differentiate with respect to t to get dw by dt. Yes, no doubt, this is the thing we usually do when we do not have no chain rule. But the thing is that you can use this thing for verification. You can use this thing for the verification of your result. That you can verify your result, whatever has been come by chain rule, by just substituting x, y, z back in w and then differentiate it with respect to t. Now the thing is that here, why we do not prefer these type of things? Because the chain rule that we are doing here, in most of the cases, the substitution that we are saying, put x, y, z back in w, this substitution is not that easy. And even the functions x, y, z, okay, first thing, substitution is not that easy. Why? Because the functions involved x, y, z are very much complicated. So substitution is not that easy. And even in many of the cases, the functions like x, y, z, it is given directly in terms of t. It is given in explicit form. So but it is not necessary that they always will be given in explicit form. In many of the cases, these functions or variables, they are basically in implicit form. So when they are given in implicit form, you can't then put back these functions in w and get the required result. So that is why there is a chain rule. There is a chain rule that can help you to find the derivative in such cases. Okay. So these are the examples just we are doing to see how the formula works. Otherwise, this is also here. You can use this thing, put x, y, z back in the w and then differentiate. But since those substitutions are not that easy, and also the functions given involved are very complicated and even not in your explicit forms many times. That is why we have to use chain rule. Now we come to the another of its formula. The formula is your related to your case 3, that is chain rule for two independent variables and three intermediate variables. That is, the situation is something like w, a function of x, y, z, where x is a function of r and s, y is a function of r and s variables, and z is again a function of r and s. So here all the functions are differentiable. Then it says, okay, so now you can see what is happening here. W is a function of x, y, z. You have w dependent upon three variables, intermediate variables 3 are here, but those intermediate variables in turn depend upon two more variables, or here independent variables are 2. That is a new thing here, 2 your independent variables. Then w has partial derivative with respect to r and s as so you have been given w, function of x, y, let me write it here in the right, w function of x, y, z, same as we did in the previous case, but now x, y, z depends upon two independent variables. This is a new thing. So this is your dependent variable, this is your intermediate variable, three intermediate variables, but now the important thing is that independent variables are two. We have now two independent variables. So let me differentiate it first w with respect to r. I am not writing now on the tree diagram. So if I am differentiating w with respect to r, I now will have here partial derivative del w by del r, because now w depends upon r and s. We have two independent variables. Earlier in the cases, whenever we were finding the derivative, like we did here, it was in this formula, ordinary derivative. We have ordinary derivative. Why? Because we have only one independent variable. And in the previous case also we have ordinary derivative. Why? Because there was only one independent variable. But now you have partial. Why? Because independent variables are two. So you look at the tree diagram. You have del w by del x, and now again partial derivative of x with respect to r. Why? Because x now depends upon two independent variables, r and s, plus del w by del y by r, del w by del z by del r. So this is the formula chain rule for your w with respect to r. And if I have to find the partial derivative with respect to s, the partial derivative, or let me just correct it, partial derivative of w with respect to x, simple same formula, just in case of r you would put s, or simply del w by del x by s, del w by del y, and I am writing it not from remembering, I am just looking at the tree diagram here and then writing it. So del w by del y del s, del w by del z, and del z by del s. So this is how the tree diagram helps you to find the chain rule, formula for the chain rule. This was the case 3 to find the partial derivative of a function which has three intermediate variables and in turn two independent variables. Let us now work out the example for this type of formulas. If w is equals to xy, yz plus zx, and x is equals to u plus v, u minus v, and z is uv, these are given, use chain rule to find partial derivative of w with respect to u and v. Hence find the value at points 1 by 2, 1. Okay. Okay, so let us find the solution. The situation here given is w is a dependent variable depending upon three independent variables, and these independent variables in turn depend upon your two independent variables. So these are your independent two independent variables, three intermediate variables, and one your dependent variable. So this is the situation here in the given example. So here w is given to be, and we have to find the derivative w with respect to u and derivative w with respect to v. We have to find these two. So let us now first work out your derivative of w with respect to u. So before that, let me first draw the tree diagram to find the formula for the chain rule. So I am not writing on the tree diagram that what will be the formula. I am writing directly looking at the tree diagram. It is del w by del x by del u. So now you can see here we are now in each term we are getting here partial derivative, okay, and no ordinary derivative, because now each variable depends upon more than one variable. So del w by del y u, del w by del z by del u. So this is your one for formula chain rule for del w by del u. Now let us first work out this and see what we need to find. We need to find the derivative of w with respect to x, derivative of w with respect to y, and derivative of w with respect to z. So these are the first three things we need to find. So let us do it one by one. W is given as your xy, yz plus zx. Okay, this is given, and x is given to be here. I'm just writing it in the side so that you can also see what is the value of x, y, z, u minus v, and z is your uv. Okay, so let me first find del w by del x. So you can see it is y plus z, and this is your 4, equation number 5, sorry. So you can find this derivative easily. Del w by del y is your x plus z, del w by del z is your y plus x. So this is 7. So now you got the first three things of this formula, del w x, y, z. You get these three things. Now what else we are left with? We are left with derivative x with respect to u, derivative y with respect to u, and derivative of z with respect to u. So these are the three more components we need to find. So let us work out these one by one. Del x y del u, that is 1, we can see clearly. Del y del u, 1. Del z y del u, it is equal to v. So this is 8, this is 9, this is 10. Again, in this question, what has been asked to you? You have been asked del w by del u. Okay. So whatever the result finally we will be getting, it should come in terms of u and v. It should be coming in terms of u and v. However, here you can see in equation number 5, equation number 6, and equation number 7, you are getting the terms of x and y. So you need to change these using this formula. You need to change these into u and v. So either you do it here, you change it here, or you change it later. So it depends upon the student that you want to change the values here or after substituting in the formula of chain rule of this del w or del u, you can do it there. So let me try this in the formula. So let me first write here, put equations values from 5 to 10, put 5 to 10 in equation number 1, we get, what we will get? We will get here y plus z, and then 1, then x plus z, 1, and then you have your final term, y plus x, and then this is equals to, multiplied by v. Okay, so this is the terms we obtained in equation 5 to 10. We obtained in equation 5 to 10, and then we substituted back into y. Since we need a result in u and v, so now we need to find the values, put the values of x, y, z. So x and y, z are given like this one. We have already written these values, u, v. So let me substitute it here. Y plus z is u minus v plus uv, 1. X plus z, u plus v plus uv, 1. Y plus x, x is u plus v plus u minus v is equal to v. So when you solve this, you will be getting 2u plus 4uv, 2u plus 4uv, and that is what your del w by del u is, the value of this partial derivative of w with respect to u. So this is the final result for your this question. However, there is one more thing asked in the question, that is you have to find the value at point 1 by 2, 1. So let me just do it. This value at 1 by 2, 1. 2, 1 by 2 plus 4, 1 by 2, 1. So this gives you 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. The result is your 3. So in this way you can see how we can solve the questions of partial derivatives when function depends upon one or more variables and those variables in turn depend upon one or more independent variables. So this is the way we can use the chain rule to find the partial derivative. So for today I think this is enough, and some more questions for the chain rule we will be doing in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.